He's expecting gifts, Nisim says. Okay. Okay. Ubavad Begolel Sefer Torah. Top page Ayin. Begolel Sefer Torah. He rolls up the Sefer Torah. Bekol Kach Lama. So he says, he goes up the Sefer Torah and he says, Yoter mima shekariti lefnechem. More than I read for you, Katuv Khan is written over here. In the Sefer Torah, it says more than I read. Why? And what I'm going to say now, Ba'al Peh, is written in the Sefer Torah. Kol kach lama, kedei shelo lehosi la'az al Sefer Torah. They shouldn't say that the Sefer Torah that they have doesn't have that written. The Kohen Gadol, he had a Sefer Torah Haser. Rashi. Kol kach lama tzarich lomar. What does he have to say? Yoter mima shekariti lefnechem katuv kan. שלא להוציא לעז על ספר תורה כשרואים אותו קורא פרשה שלישית. When they see him reading a third parasha, al peh, by heart, you siburim, they're going to think שספר תורה חסר אותה parasha. They're going to feel like the Sefer Torah is missing that parasha. So therefore, you see, it's important to be careful not to do something that will cause a Sefer Torah to be looked down on. That's why we're careful. They take out a Sefer Torah, they don't put it back, take out another one, even if the other one is more mehudar, because we're afraid people will say, "Motzi la'az on the Sefer, it's no good." Ube'asor shel chumash hapikudim korei al peh. Be'asor of the chumash hapikudim that's written in Parashat Pinchas, he reads it al peh. Amai, why read it al peh? Niglol v'nikri. Why don't you roll it to there and read it? You don't roll the Sefer Torah while the tzibur is waiting for the honor of the tzibur. So over here, you already read in Vayikra. You have to get to Bimidbar. It's too long to do it while the metargem is being metargem. So you're stuck.
So, Rabbi, what's the reason they didn't take out a second sefer?
We're going to get there. Mepnei kevod tzibur Rashi, shiu mitzapim, they're watching, v'domimim, and being silent. Says the Gemara, v'neiti harina v'nikri. Sure that the Beit HaMikdash could afford a second Sefer Torah. So bring a second Sefer Torah, Rashi. It will be open to the third parasha. Rav Huna bar Yehuda Amar Mishum Pegamo Shel Rishon. Rav Huna bar Yehuda says, if you take out a second one, you're insulting the first one. Resh Lakish Amar Resh Lakish says, Mishum Beracha She'en Asiricha, because you're going to have to make an unnecessary beracha. It's very difficult. Rashi. Mishum pegamo shelo yomru haseru. They shouldn't say it's missing. Beracha she'en tziricha sheyeh tzarich lahazol uvarech. He's going to have to make another beracha. Seemingly, it's very difficult. Why should he have to make another beracha? You have the Sefer Torah here. He knows he's going to read it when he's making the beracha. Why do I have to make another beracha when I start reading from the second Sefer Torah? Different guy. Why should the same guy have to make a beracha? What? It's a different guy. It's not the same guy. It's a different guy. Chatan Bereshit and Chatan Torah. It's two guys. It's the one. I finished the Devarim. And then Jackie starts Bereshit. I don't start Bereshit. It's different Koreh, different what's it called? I don't know. We don't say Kaddish. What? It's all the Kohen Gadol. Why is Beracha She'en Tziricha? Yes, Moshe. What? I can't hear you.
It's like you need a new beracha, right? It's a new sefer. Maybe because it's a new sefer, you need a new beracha.
L'chaora, if you had in mind, Moshe, that you're putting on two talitot, would you have to make a new beracha?
Why not? It's an otalet.
No. If you have in mind,
I'm not eating apple. It's two different things.
Alava Shalom Rav Scheinberg. You think he made 100 berachot?
No, that's different.
Why?
Oh, you're right.
So you have to look in Tosfot Yeshanim.
You can't hear it.
Tosfot Yeshanim says, Mishum beracha she'ena siricha, mikan yesh lelmod, ta'shochet harbe behemot, o ofot biyahad. Somebody is slaughtering a lot of animals. Asur lehasiach, he's not allowed to talk ben shechitat of the havero, between the slaughterings. Kedei lachzor ulevarech, so that he'll have to make another beracha. Kivan sheyachol latzet beberacha rishona, because he's going to have. Because since you could be yotzeh with the first one, don't make a second beracha. Don't talk and cause yourself to make another beracha.
Right. Between the aliyot, when they wanted to send up one guy for all 7 aliyot during Corona, you said beracha each time.
Over there, it's a takanat chachamim to make a beracha on every aliyah, like we do when we have a second kohen. Right? Sorry, when the kohen gets levi, right?
Yeah.
It's takanat chachamim that you make a beracha on every aliyah. So even though it's the same guy, that's like to show that he's making the second aliyah. It's a good question. I need to work out the whole sugya of beracha she'ena tzricha.
He doesn't know he's going to get the aliyah.
He does. There hasn't been a levi in 16 years.
Maybe somebody knows.
Rabbi, can you explain something? What is exactly the last of Sefer Torah?
People are going to say, Laz on the Sefer Torah, they're going to say, why'd you take it a second one? Must be it's not in the first one. What you're reading here is only in the second one.
How many he's taking out?
2.
2.
So they're going to say, the first one you read because it has this part. The second one you read because it has this part. They're not going to think you read the second one because you're not let it turn it in the middle. So they're going to say, this Sefer Torah is missing a parasha.
And then it's not.
That's not nice. Okay. Says the Gemara, Umi Chayshinan Lefgama. Are we choshesh by taking out a Sefer Torah, a second one that they're going to talk bad about the first one? The Ha'amar Rav Yitzchak Nafcha. Rav Yitzchak Nafcha says, Rosh Chodesh Tebet Shehaliyo b'Shabbat. When Rosh Chodesh Tebet falls out on Shabbat, Mevi'im Shalosh Torot. They bring 3 Torot. They korin and they read Ahad be'Inyano Shel Yom. One they read whatever the parasha is. Ve'ahad shel Rosh Chodesh. One they read Rosh Chodesh. Ve'ahad shel Hanukkah. And the third one they read Hanukkah. Nobody's going to say, oh, this one is not in that Sefer Torah and that one is not in this Sefer Torah. So the Gemara explains, no. It says, Tlata Gavre betlata Sifre. 3 people, 3 Sefarim. Leka Pegama, there's no Pegam. Had Gavra, but one guy, the Kohen Gadol betre Sifre. And 2 different Sefarim, Ika Pegama. Because it's unusual for one person to read in 2 Sefarim. If he's switching to another Sefer, why on earth do we ever switch during one guy's Aliyah? The first Sefer had a mistake. It's the only time you do it. Right? So when they see you switching Sefarim, they're going to say, oh, it must be the first one is Pasuk.
If his goal is to not let people think that it's missing the next parasha, it's a strange choice of words. Maybe there is Geter mi Masha Marti Katuv Kan.
No, Katuv.
Missing.
Katuv Kan.
Okay.
More than what I read is written in this Sefer Torah. It's written here, I just can't read it from here.
But maybe more is written, but not the piece that I need.
He means this, what I'm reading is written here. Yeter means what I'm reading. Okay. Umevarech. The Gemara continues. Umevarech aleh shmona berachot. He makes 8 berachot. Tan Rabbanan. So the Mishnah says one of the berachot is ala Torah. Ala Torah kederech shemevarchim bebeit haKnesset. It's the same beracha from Shul. Hashem natan lanu et Torato Torah emet v'chayei olam tavtechem baruch Hashem noten haTorah. Rashi ketikna. What's a different one? Ala avodah. ועל ההודעה ועל מחילת העוון כתיקונה. רש"י, או כתקנה. רש"י, כתקנה, כמו שאנו אומרים אותן בתפילה. רצה, like we say in העמידה. מודים, like we say in העמידה. מחילת העוון, like we say in העמידה. ברוך אתה השם, מלך מוחל וסולח לעוונותינו, the whole ברכה How much of it does he say? I'm not sure. But what we say in the Amidah, he says, Ve'ala mikdash b'fnei atzma, ve'ala kohanim b'fnei atzman, ve'al Yisrael b'fnei atzman, ve'al she'ara tefillah. So Rashi already in the Mishnah explained what the beracha on the kohanim is. He said on the kohanim, he says, Baruch shebachar, he prays the kohanim should be upkept, they should be successful. Baruch shebachar bezaro shel Aaron. On Yisrael, Baruch shebachar b'Yisrael, I guess. Ve'al she'ara tefillah, what's this she'ara tefillah? Doesn't have Yerushalayim over here. That's kind of why they took it out of the Mishnah. Tanu Rabbanan, u'sh'ara tefillah, what's this she'ara tefillah? Rina tehina bakasha milefanecha. I'm making a rina, techina, and bakasha from in front of you. Al amecha Yisrael, about your nation Israel. Shesirichim lehi vasheya, they need to be saved. Vechotem, and he closes, Baruch atah Hashem shomei tefillah.
How many berachot does he have?
8. Ve'achar kach, after the Kohen Gadol finishes his Kriyat Torah, look in Rashi. Tanar Banan, before we go on. Tanar Banan, She'ara Tefillah HaShenuya b'Mishnah. What's this beracha? Kachi. Rinat China Bakasha Milefanecha Al Amcha Yisrael Shetzrichim Leivashaya. After that, Ve'achar Kach, Kol Echad Ve'echad, Mevi Sefer Torah Mibeto. Everybody brings his Sefer Torah from his house. Rashi says from yesterday. Ve'koreh bo, and everybody, they have breakaway minyanim, like by the Kotel, right? Kedei laharot hazuto l'rabim, to show off the beauty of his Sefer Torah barabim. Rashi. Leharot hazuto l'rabim. Leharot noyo shel Sefer Torah, to show the beauty of the Sefer Torah. Ve'tiferet be'aleha, and the glory of the owner. Shetarah, he worked. Lehitnaot b'mitzvah, to make a beautiful mitzvah. Shene'emar, like it says, Ze'eli ve'amvehu, hitna'eh lefanav b'mitzvot. Beautify yourself in mitzvot. For example, lulav na'eh, sefer Torah na'eh. How do you make it na'eh? Beklaf na'eh, nice klaf. B'dyon na'eh, good ink. Belavlar uman, and a professional sofer. That's the key. One, the guy knows how to write nice letters. Didn't mention the case yet. Ume'erev, why they have to read? If they just wanted to show off the case, they could just make Julian and make Hakafot. Ume'erev Yoma Kippurim, Hevi'um Sham. Rashi says they brought him from Erev Kippur. What?
More. In the Kotel, they have each Chad Ve'echad.
Haroeh Kohen Gadol.
Why would they make all the
I don't know. It's a good question. What was it official? Wasn't saying, well, Mapetom and Yoma Kippurim. This is the time. That's a good question.
And they also canceled shofar, which is a chavah.
That's
out of concern.
That's the point.
I'm saying, I think this one.
You're missing the point. Because it's a chavah, we have to cancel it. Because everybody's chayav. Not everybody could do it. They're going to go get it. It's not a chavah. I don't have that. I forgot. I'll leave it home. I'll come next year.
When he's saying Kol Echad Ve'echad, is everybody from the tzibur?
No.
Sefer Torah? No.
Whoever has a nice one.
So they used to be everybody.
If you didn't want to show off, you wouldn't bring it. If you got a El Cheapo version, you want it.
All this berachot is what is it? It's not in the Torah. It's just random berachot.
I don't know. He didn't say an Amidah. This was his own type of punt. It's like Birkota Haftarah is his Amidah. It's very unusual. The Gemara says.
We know what he's saying exactly.
He's saying it in the Ezrat Nashim after he read the Torah.
It's not in the Hamidah?
It says he said it when he Allah Torah, and he said 8 berachot. It's not Haftarah. It's berachot. Yeah. It says Gemara Ro'eh Kohen Gadol Lo Mepeneh She'eno Rashai. You can't see them burning the pot and you can't see both. Not because you're not allowed, but because you can't get to both of them. Right? No, it's too far away. It's far. It's far. Same time and it's far. So Gemara says Pshita Of course. Why should he not be allowed? Why on earth would you not be allowed to see the two of them? So the Gemara says, Mao de Tema Kedresh Lakish. The Amaresh Lakish and Ma'avirin Lamesvot. Right? So if you're already here by the Kohen Gadol reading the Torah, and you're gonna go see the burning, so you Ma'avir al mitzvot. Or if you're watching the burning and you're gonna come see the Kohen Gadol, you Ma'avir al mitzvot. Right? Kamash Malan, that's not a problem. Technically, you would be allowed to leave and go to the other event. Umay mitzvah. So understand, the Kohen Gadol is reading the Torah. He's doing the mitzvah. Right? What are you doing? Listening to the Torah. Okay, that one is easy. They're burning the pot and the sa'ir. What are you doing? Spectator. Sefi supervisor. No. Over there. Over there. You move it, right? Umay mitzvah. Kippur. Umay mitzvah. He's telling them, tonight we're going to have Umay mitzvah. Berov am hadrat melech. Maybe the mitzvah was Berov am hadrat melech. Meaning, by watching the par, I'm making the mitzvah Berov am. I'm being mehader the mitzvah. So therefore, if I go to the other one, I'm ma'avir ala mitzvot. Kamash malan. What's a kamash malan? It's a good kasha. Why be'emet is it mutar? Look in Rashi. Umay mitzvah em ma'avirim mitzvot. Uma odetei mahainami a'aburehu shemaniach zu ve'olech lerotzu.
So why he needs to stay in one place?
Maybe
not to move place.
You're changing mitzvot. Umay mitzvah yesh beriyatam. What's the mitzvah? Yesh kan mitzvah mishum berov'am hadrat melech. When people do a mitzvah and a lot of people are watching it, it's kabot shamayim. Kamash malan delav ma'averhu me'achar she'enu asuk fa. Even though you're doing a mitzvah and you're causing glory to the mitzvah, since you're not actually doing the mitzvah, there's no din of ma'avirin al ha-mitzvot. Spectator doesn't have a din of ma'avir al mitzvot. Exactly.
What's more important?
Doesn't say.
Maybe if
it doesn't. It doesn't say.
Place to place, maybe I'm getting more mitzvot. I'm watching this one and I'm watching this one and I'm watching this one.
Maybe. I'll go on. Either way, you can't get to both of them. Can't do it.
Same time.
They seem as fast. He can do it. Okay. And big day. Why?
Mishnah says if I'm watching the par, I'm not allowed to go listen to the.
Not because you're not allowed. Not because.
They sure framed it. I can't go do anything. If they want to learn.
No, I want to go to another mitzvah. Another mitzvah I could clearly go to. You want to know, could you go, now you want to go read comic books? Yeah, you're stopping mitzvah to read comic books, but I'm going to do another mitzvah.
No, it sounds like you could. Yeah, even that's fine.
It didn't say that.
No.
It's not ma'avir. Okay, ma'avir is to go to another mitzvah. Next. Okay, now we got to buckle down. If he was reading with the linen garments, meaning the bigdei kehuna, so he still has to take him off to switch for the hotzah for the avodat hayom. Kidesh yadav v'raglav. He washed his hands and his feet. Pashat, he took him off. Yarad v'taval, he went to the mikveh. Allah, he came up. V'nistapag, he dried himself. Heviu lo bigdei zahav, they brought him the golden clothes. V'lavash, he put him on. V'kidesh yadav v'raglav. So now he put on the bigdei zahav. What does he need to do? He already did the tamid shel shachar in the morning. The yatzah. So if you want to give out humashim, I suppose try and give out the same one. The yatzah ve'asa et elo ve'et el ha'am. He went out and he did his ayil and the el ha'am, right? Epar ben bakar lehatat ve'ayil le'olah, right? The Kohen Gadol, he does par ben bakar lehatat and ayil le'olah. And the people, if we look in the beginning of Parashat Aharemot, right, on page, in the regular Hebrew English art scrolls, it's on page 636. And then 637, Ume'et adat penei Yisrael yikach, shnei se'irei ezim lehatat, ve'ayil le'olah. So the shnei se'irei ezim lehatat, he already did. The par ben bakar lehatat that he brought on 636, he already did. But he has the ayil le'olah and ayil had le'olah, right? Those two, he didn't do yet. Here, on page 642, right? It says, after chafbet, v'nasa ha'sa'ir alav et kol avonotam el eretz gezerah, v'shilach et ha'sa'ir b'midbar, right? He did the sa'ir. Then he did the Kiryat Torah, which it doesn't say openly over here. It says it, we learn it from the Miluim. And then it says, v'rahatz et b'saro b'mayim b'makom kadosh, v'lavash et begadav, right? V'yatza, begadav means the regular bigdei kehuna. V'yatza v'asa et olato ve'et olat ha'am v'cheper ba'ado v'ad ha'am. So that's what it says. V'ayil le'olah and ayil and the ayil echad le'olah his and the am. That's what it says right here. So that's what it says. V'yasa et elo ve'et el ha'am. Then it says ve'et shiv'at kevasim temimim b'nei shana. Where's the shivat kevasim? Rashi says shel musafen bechumash hapikudim. We just spoke about chumash hapikudim. So turn in parashat Pinchas on page 894. Ube'asor shebechodesh hashiv'i hazeh. מקרא קודש יהיה לכם, וקרבתם עולה להשם, ריח ניחוח, פר בן בקר אחד, עיל אחד, כבשים בני שנה, 7 תמימים יהיו לכם. פלוס שעיר עזים אחד חטאת, מלבד חטאת הכיפורים ועולת התמיד ומנחתך ונזקיהם. So you have a par, you have an ayil, and you have 7 kevasim, right? Plus a sa'ir chatat, like you do on every Rosh Chodesh and every holiday. So Rashi says you bring elo, elam, shivat kevasim timimim b'nei shana. Those go now after he did all the avodat hayom. He goes to the mikveh, he puts on, so he did the tamid shel shachar in the morning, the havitin in the morning. Then he goes, he puts on the bigdei zahav. He does all the avodat hayom. He comes out, he reads the Torah, go to the mikveh, put on the bigdei zahav, do the elo, elam, shivat kevasim.
So one of the three.
There's 2 in them. There might be 3, there might be 2. We'll see later. Right?
Here's the Kohanim and the Am, no?
No, the Kohanim don't have separate ayah. So we say, Divrei Rabbi Eliezer. That's Rabbi Eliezer's opinion. That he does the shivat kevasim together with elo and el ha'am. Rabbi Akiva says, Im tamid shel shachar hayu kerevim. He says they brought the shivat kevasim with the tamid shel shachar in the first tevilah, in the first bigdei zahav. Look in Rashi. No, doesn't say. Next, upar ha'olah. Now, if you look on page 894, right? Par ben bakar echad, right? Par ben bakar. Why are you doing that par? Upar ha'olah. V'sa'ir ha'na'asa b'chutz, right? That's, it says over here on 894. It says par ben bakar echad, and then it says in pasuk yur aleph, se'ir ezim echad chatat. That's a regular se'ir ezim chatat. That's called the se'ir ha'na'asa b'chutz. We're not taking the blood inside. Hayu kerevim im tamid shel ben arbaim. Those 2 are brought with the tamid shel ben arbaim. Now it's very interesting. Why would you bring the kevasim in the morning and the par and the sa'ir in the afternoon? There's no hint of that seemingly in the Pesukim. Rashi, para olah nami de musaf, im tamid shel ben arba'im betevilah hamishit. So now he finished with the middle, with the bigdei zahav stuff. Kidesh yadav v'raglav, I got to take him off. He washed his hands and feet. Pashat, he took off the bigdei zahav. Yarad v'taval, he went to the mikveh. Ve'alav v'nistapag, he came up, he dried himself. Eviu lo bigdei lavan, they brought him the white clothes again. Ve'lavash, he put them on. This is the other pair of white clothes, the cheaper pair, right? V'kidesh yadav v'raglav, he washed his hands and feet. Nechnas, he went into the Kodesh HaKodashim, Lotzi et hakaf ve'et hamachta, to take out the spoon and the fire pan. Kidesh yadav v'raglav, he washed his hands and feet. Pashat, he took off his clothes. Yarav v'tabal, went to the mikveh. Alav in his tapag, he came up and dried himself. Heviu lo bigdei zahav, they put on the bigdei zahav, v'lavash, he wore them. Kidesh yadav v'raglav, he washed his hands and feet. Now, obviously, he's doing the tamid shel ben arbaim, which I told you about, and this the par and the sira naasa b'chutz, plus nichnas lahaktir ketoret shel ben arbaim. He goes to do the ketoret of the afternoon. Ulhetiv et hanerot, l'chaora, it's to light the candles at this point. Kidesh yadav raglav, he washed his hands and feet. Heviu lo bigdei za'atzmo, doesn't have to dip anymore. They brought him his own clothes. V'lavash, and he put it on. U'melavin oto ad beto, and everybody would escort him home. V'yom tov haya oseh lo havav, he made a party for his friends. V'sha'ah she'asa b'shalom min hakodesh, he survived. Mosai Kippur. Mosai Kippur. Says Gemara, Ibaya Lahu. Heichi Ka'amar. How do you want to read the Mishnah? How do you want to read the Mishnah? Heich Rashi says, Heichi Ka'amar Rabbi Akiva. Im Tamid Shel Shachar Ayu Kerevim. The Shiv'at Kevasim of the Musaf. You brought with the Tamid Shel Shachar. Upar Ha'olah. V'Sa'ira Na'asa B'chutz Im Tamid Shel Ben Arba'in. And the Par Ha'olah and the Sa'ira Na'asa B'chutz was done in the afternoon. Meaning that's all Rabbi Akiva talking. Or Dilma, or maybe Hachi Ka'amar. Im Tamid Shel Shachar Ayu Kerevim Upar Ha'olah Behadai. Meaning, read the Mishnah as follows. Rabbi Akiva Omer Im Tamid Shel Shachar Ayu Kerevim Upar Ha'olah. Comma. Put the comma after Upar Ha'olah. V'Sa'ira Na'asa B'chutz Im Tamid Shel Ben Arbaim. So is it Upar Ha'olah V'Sa'ira Na'asa B'chutz together in the afternoon, like we read it? Or maybe we should read it. The par was together with the Shiva Kivasim in the morning, and the Sa'ira Na'asa Ben B'chutz is in the afternoon, independently. Says the Gemara, V'tu, and I'm going to ask you another question. Par Ha'olah l'Rabbi Eliezer the Shireh. He didn't talk about the Par Ha'olah. He only spoke about the Shiva Kivasim, that you bring it in the afternoon, right? In the middle Tevilah. Rabbi, he didn't talk about the Par. Emat Avid, when do you do it? V'tu, and another question. Ben l'Rabbi Eliezer, ben l'Rabbi Akiva, emureh chatat emat avid lehu. Right? We said before that the emurim of the chatat and the two chataot, the par of the Kohen Gadol and the sa'ir lashem, he took them out. He put them in the megas lehaktiran in order to offer them later. The Mishnah doesn't tell you when. Right? We said vehiktiran. I said, no, that's wrong. It's wrong. It's not vehiktiran. It's not vehiktiran. So why did the Mishnah tell me when? Now, if we go back to page 642, right? It says in Pasuk Chaf Vav, ve'et chelev hatat yaktira mizbeha. So it sounds like, when do you do the chelev hatat? When you're bringing olato ve'et olat ha'am. Okay. So when is that done? Amar Rava says, Lo mashkachat la metakanta. You don't find the correct order for either one of the Tanaim. Ela oler Rabbi Eliezer tetana b'debei Shmuel. You want to find Rabbi Eliezer's order? Tana debei Shmuel has it incomplete. Oler Rabbi Akiva kedetosefta. Rabbi Akiva is listed and complete in the Tosefta. The Tana de Beshem, where we have a Braita taught in Shmuel's Yeshiva, Rabbi Eliezer Omer, Yatsa ve'asa elo, ve'el ha'am, he went out and he did his ayil, and the ayil of the people, ve'emureh hatat, and the pieces of the hatat, the fats of the hatat, the part of the Sa'ir Shoma Kippurim. Aval, para olah, ve'shivat kivasim, ve'sa'ir na'asa b'chutz, the part of the olah, right, from the Musaf of Yoma Kippurim that's mentioned in Parashat Pinchas. Shivat Kevasim, that's mentioned in Parashat Pinchas. The Sa'ira Na'asa B'chutz, that's mentioned in Parashat Pinchas. Em Tamid Shel Ben Arbaim. All of that was in the afternoon. Rabbi Akiva, what's Rabbi Akiva's position? The Tosefta Mahi, the Tanya Rabbi Akiva Omer, Par Ha'olah, V'Shivat Kevasim, Em Tamid Shel Shachar Hayu Keruvim. That was brought in the morning. Shene'emar, Melevad Olat HaBoker, Asher LeOlat HaTamid. He says, it says in Parashat Pinchas, it is Musaf. So in Parashat Pinchas, it says, not on Yom Kippur, but on where's he quoting from? Where does it say that? It's Kaf Gimel. Kaf Chet. Kaf Chet. Kaf Gimel. By Rosh, by Shavuot. No, it's on Pesach. Melevad olat haboker asher olat hatamid ta'asu et elu. When you're doing the Musaf, you do it besides, so you're doing the olat haboker. Sounds like we said it, we had this yesod before, that the Musafim is really attached to the olat haboker, to the tamid shel shachar. So therefore, just like by Pesach, it's part of the tamid shel shachar, Yom Kippur also, all of the holidays, the Musaf is Musaf to the tamid shel shachar. So therefore, Rabbi Akiva feels the right one after the other. Par ha'olah v'shivat ha'kevasim im tamid shel shachar hayu kerevim. They brought it in the morning. Rashi im tamid shel shachar belvisha rishona sheneemar b'musfei kol haregalim melevad olat haboker. Akma we see musafim. Im olat haboker na'asim. You do it together with the musafim of the with the olah of the morning. V'samuchla v'yilamed Yoma Kippurim mehem. Right? Melevad olat haboker shon. V'harkach avodat hayom. Afterwards, you do the stuff from Seder Avodah. V'harkach sa'ira na'asa b'chutz. So why don't you do the sa'ira na'asa b'chutz in the morning? Like we said by Pesach, Shene'emar Seir Ezim Echad Chatat Melevad Chatat HaKippurim, right? Because by this on Yom Kippur it says, do the Seir Ezim Echad Chatat Melevad Chatat HaKippurim after the Chatat HaKippurim. So although in general the Musafim is part of Tamid Shel Shachar, when it came to the Seira Na'asa B'chutz, the Torah said, do it Melevad Chatat HaKippurim, besides for the Chatat HaKippurim, in after the Chatat HaKippurim. So I got to wait until part of the Avodat HaYom and do that. So that's the third one.
So what was Melevad after?
Right after.
Right after?
As close after as can, yeah. Okay. Says Gemara, after that, you do the ayil and the el ha'am because that's what it says to do in on page 642. Because it says that right after that. That's Rabbi Akiva. My ta'amad Rabbi Eliezer. So why does Rabbi Eliezer say to do all of that, all of the stuff in Parashat Pinchas in the afternoon? Kedichtiv avid. He's following the Torah. Why is he following the Torah? Bereisha, the Torah Kohanim, the Hadar Avid, the Chumash HaPikudim. He says, what do you want? Vayikra comes before Bamidbar. Do what it says in Aharemot.
What he's supposed to follow?
The Torah.
The Torah.
That's right.
So what's the
Everybody's going to have their own way of telling you what it says in the Torah. Right? He says, first, everything in Vayikra, and then go to Bamidbar. Rashi. Avid kedichtiv. Torat Kohanim ketiva bereisha. Torat Kohanim vayikra. Helkach elo ve'el ha'am ve'emoreh hatat patar avodat hayom. Ve'hadar hotzaat kafu machta. Ve'achar kach musafim. Then the musafim v'tamid shel ben arba'im dechtivi lebasof. It's written in the end bechumash hapikudim. Rabbi Akiva, why don't you accept that? Kedekatani ta'ama. Milevad olat haboker asher le'olat hatamid. It says on Pesach to do it milevad olat haboker, that the musafim are appended, they're added on to the olat haboker. Oh, you're right, it says it after, but it told you to do it with the olat haboker. Alma musafim im tamid shel shachar avidu. Rabbi Eliezer, hay milevad chatat hakipurim, my avidle. According to Rabbi Eliezer, what do you need milevad chatat hakipurim? Anyway, you're doing it after. Rashi, hay milevad chatat hakipurim. Demashma de se'ir hachitzon. Kodem le'elo ve'el ha'am. To tell you that you do the se'ir hachitzon before elo ve'el ha'am. What are you doing with that? That's what Rabbi Akiva said. Hold on. Oh, Rabbi Akiva put the Seira Na'asa B'chutz after the Seira Na'asa B'fnim, before Elo ve'el ha'am, even though obviously it's not, it's written, Seira Na'asa B'chutz is written in Parashat Pinchas. It doesn't, you have, there's no specific place to put it in the Seder Avodat Yom Kippurim. He says, because it says, Milevad Hatat Kippurim, so put it as close to the Hatat Kippurim as you can. And if that happens to be before Elo ve'el ha'am, which is specifically mentioned in Aharemot, so be it. Whereas Rabbi Eliezer is saying, no, everything in Pinchas goes later. So therefore, what's he going to do with this Milevad Hatat Kippurim? Right? What's he doing with that? Hahumi Bayale, it's coming to teach me, Alma Shezeh Mechaper, Zeh Mechaper. It's coming to teach me that just like the Chatat HaKippurim, the one that you brought inside, is Mechaper Antu Ma'amikdash V'Kadashav, so too the Seira Na'asa B'chutz is also Mechaper Antu Ma'amikdash V'Kadashav. Rashi. Again, Hai Milvad Chatat HaKippurim. Temashma, that implies the Sa'ir HaChitzon, the outside Sa'ir, meaning you don't bring the dam inside, you put on the Mizbeach HaChitzon like a regular Hatat. Kodem le'elo ve'ela amay avidle. Bishlama milevad olat haboker la b'yom kippurim ketiv. What Rabbi Akiva said, that you have to do all of this stuff here in the morning. He says, listen, that's not on Yom Kippur. Omer meregalim lo yaluf. Don't learn from the holidays. Tesami chasidra le'me'ebad hani de Torat Kohanim bereisha. All the other holidays don't have a whole avodah delineated in Vayikra. So there's nothing separating between the Olat Tamid and the Musafim. Yom Kippur has, so it's not talking about that. Yom Kippurim Gufa Milevad. I'm doing it in the afternoon. Why does it say Milevad? To teach me Al Ma Shezeh Mechaper B'matnitin Teperek Hamad Shvot Darish Lehachi. He learns it like that. V'al sheyesh ba yedi'ah basof ve'en ba yedi'ah b'techila. Seira Na'asa B'chutz Mechaper. We said that the Seira Na'asa B'fnim is Mechaper on something that has Yedi'ah B'techila, but it doesn't have Yedi'ah B'sof. Eventually, meaning the guy knew he was Tameh. He forgot. He went into the Beit HaMikdash, and he still hasn't realized that he ever made the mistake of going in. So when he finds out, he's going to have to bring a korban olev yored. In the meantime, the seira na'asa b'fnim is mechaper fen. Masha'en ken, the seira na'asa b'chutz is different. It's mechaper for something I didn't know when I became tameh. Then I went in, right? And I found out after. But I can never bring a korban for that because in order to bring a korban, you had to know, forget, and then find out. So that the seira na'asa b'chutz is a mechaper. Shneimar, us'ir hatat ehad milevad hatat ha-kippurim. Almash ze mechaper, ze mechaper. They mechaper for the same stuff. Ma penimi eno mechaper el al davar sheyesh bo yedi'ah, has some sort of knowledge. Av chitzon eno mechaper is also mechaper on something that has a knowledge, but different knowledges. Rabbi Yehuda Omer Mishmo, back in the Gemara. Rabbi Yehuda says in the name of Rabbi Eliezer, in the name of Rabbi Akiva. Sorry. So till now we have Rabbi Akiva says you bring the Shiva Kivasim with the par in the morning. Rabbi Eliezer says you bring him with the Tamid Shel Bena Arbaim. Rabbi Yehuda says Ehad Karev and Tamid Shel Shachar. Bring one of the Kivasim in the morning, the Shisha and Tamid Shel Bena Arbaim, and the other 6 in the afternoon. Split them. Yeah. Rabbi Eliezer, Rabbi Lazar, Rabbi Shimon Omer Mishmo, he says in Rabbi Akiva's name, Shisha Kerevim and Tamid Shel Shachar. Bring 6 of them in the morning, ve'echad and Tamid Shel Ben Arbaim, and 1 in the afternoon. Rashi, Mishmo Shel Rabbi Akiva. Echad min Shivat Kivasim, 1 of the 7, you do avi, right? You do it in the morning. How could it be? It says, there's 2 pesukim. One says, Milevad olat haboker, do it besides for the olah of the morning, meaning do the musafim with the tamid shel shachar. V'chtiv, and it says, V'yatza v'asa et olato. V'gomer, right? V'yatza v'asa et olato. V'et olat ha'am, v'cheper ba'ado v'ad ha'am. Right? That's v'yatza v'asa et olato v'et olat ha'am is chavdalet. It's mashma. That's in the afternoon. Hilkach. So I have a stira. Should I do it in the morning? Should I do it in the afternoon? Hilkach. Avid minayu hacha uminayu hacha. Do some here and some there. Okay. So that's wide open. I would do 3 and 4 or 4 and 3, right? We have 1 and 6. Why? Let's see Rashi. Avid chad kedechtiv melevad olat haboker. Before we'll read a little further before we go to Rashi. So Gemara says, "Dukule alma mihat." No, sorry, I skipped. There might come if we. So what's the machlok between Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Eliezer and Rabbi Shimon? Rabbi Yehuda savar avid chad kedechtiv melevad olat haboker. Do one like it says. You have to do one with the olat haboker. V'hadar avid avodat hayom. Then it makes sense to do the avodat Yom Kippurim. Dilma hulsha halish kohen gadol. Maybe the kohen gadol is going to get weak. He's got a whole avodat to do. So you're going to load him up with the avodat haboker. Let him do the avodat Yom Kippurim. If he starts fainting in the afternoon, okay, so he'll miss the musafim. At least he didn't miss the ketoret inside. What? I don't want to rely on the backup. The Rabbi Eliezer, Rabbi Shimon Savar, Kivan de Atchil. Once you started, Avit Shisha. Let him do 6 of them. Go, roll, you know. Dilma Pasha, Ligabe, right? Dilma Pasha. Maybe later on he's going to be lazy. Ligabe Avodat Hayom Zarizu. When it comes to the Avodat Hayom, he's excited. More Musafi, more Tamid. It's every day. It's not exciting. Rashi. Avit Chad. Kedechti milvad olat haboker lismoch miktzat hamusafim leolat hatamid. I got to do some. It's a gezerat hakatuv. V'hadar avir avodat hayom. Then he does the rest of the day. The iyamar kol hamisofim yakrivim tamid shashach. You want to do all of them? They'll mahalish. Maybe you'll get weak. V'lo matzi leme'ebad avodat hayom. V'hu ikara kapara. That's the main item. Whereas Rabbi Eliezer, Rabbi Shimon says, Dilma pasha. Maybe he'll get lazy. He won't complete it. Ulamai de haisha. This is what you worry. Dilma halish. Maybe he'll get tired in the middle of avodat hayom lekelamechash. Telegabe avodat hayom. With regards to that day's avodah zarizu, he's going to be swift. Or mahlif koach. He's going to find the energy. V'kulu musafim lo avid. The Torat Kohanim kodem. The rest of the musafim he doesn't do because Torat Kohanim comes first. V'tzarich lekayem zu. He has to do zu v'zu seder katuv. Tzarich lekayem zu v'zu seder katuv v'medrashem ekrao. Says the Gemara, Dekule alma mihat. Everybody agrees. Had ayilhu. So now, if you go back to the Parashat Pinchas, it says, "Va'asitem ola l'reach nichoch la'Hashem, par ben bakar ehad, ayil ehad, kivasim b'nei shana shiv'at emimim." Right? Nobody over here, right? We addressed. You're bringing the par and the shiva kivasim either tamid shachar, tamid shel ben arba'in, or some sort of a split. Where's the ayil? We have Elo ve'el ha'am, l'chaora Elo ve'el ha'am. Those were spelled out on page 636, right, and 638, right? Ve'ayil echad le'ola, sorry, ve'ayil le'ola, and ve'ayil echad le'ola. That's Elo ve'el ha'am. L'chaora, there's a third ayil, the ayil that's on page 894. Par ben bakar le'hatat, ve'ayil le'ola, right? There's a third ayil. Says Gemara, Dikule Alma. Everybody's agreeing over here. Chad ayilu. The Ela'am is only one. Meaning that the ayil that it says in Parashat Pinchas is the same ayil that's mentioned in Parashat Harim. For some reason, the ayil of the people is really the ayil of the Musafim. And we pulled it out of there to mention it over here. Rashi. Tekul alma miha ben Rabbi Eliezer, ben Rabbi Akiva, had ayil hu de tzibur. Tekulu amri, everybody's saying. Thank you. Tekulu amri, everybody's saying. Ayil ha'am, velo ayri ba'ayil ha'katuv, they're not mentioning the one that it says in Bamidbar, in Pinchas. Rabbi, they're going like Rabbi. The Tanya, Rabbi Omer, ayil echad ha'amur kad. The ayil that it says in Parashat Haremot, hu ha'amur b'chumash ha'pikudim. That's the one that it says in Chumash ha'pikudim. Rabbi Eliezer, Rabbi Shimon Omer, shene elim him. No, they're two separate ones. Echad ha'amur kam, one that it says here. The echad ha'amur b'chumash ha'pikudim. My ta'amad Rabbi. Tichtiv echad. If you notice, right, by the Kohen Gadol on 636 it says, ve'ayil le'olah. Ve'par ben bakar le'hatat, ve'ayil le'olah. How many elim is he bringing? One. What does it call it? Ayil. Ayil is one. The next page, right? Yikach sheneh se'ireh ezim lechatat, ve'ayil ehad le'olah. Achad. Ve'ayil le'olah. By the Kohen Gadol, I was smart enough to know that ayil is one. Over here, I'll understand it's one. You know why it says ehad? It's the same one. It's to tell you, don't think it's two. They're only giving one. Right? Rabbi Eliezer, Rabbi Shimon, why does it say echad? My echad, miyuchad shebe'edro. Take, it's not one, it's number one.
It's one of one.
It's the number one ayah. The one. So Rabbi, nafkalei mivhar nedarecha. You have to tell me that. It says, mivhar nedarecha, the best of your nedarim. Rabbi Eliezer, Rabbi Shimon, had bechoba, bechad benedava v'tzrichi. No. To tell me that you need to take the best. One time it says by nedava, one time it says by chova v'tzrichi, and I need both. Rashi v'tzrichi. שיש דעת נוטה, there's a way to think, נדבה מובחרת, כדי שתהיה מקובלת ברצון. If you're volunteering, you better bring a nice one. So it should be accepted favorably. מה שאין כן חובה, I do what I have to do. It doesn't have to be the best. ויש דעת נוטה לומר חובה תהיה מובחרת. חובה, you have to do the best. You're obligated, you better do hidur mitzvah. מה שאין כן נדבה, the whole thing is a bonus. It's okay, it doesn't have to be the best. Something like that. Okay, Baruch Adonai le'olam. Amen ve'amen.
Rabbi, the Ne'ilah service, basically, in the Beit HaMikdash time, was non-existent. It was just a Korban, Ben Arbaim.
There's no Korban. Amen. It's not a Korban.
So it was just the Tamid, the basic Tamid. It was done during
Amen, yes.
Ne'ilah.
Amen. Yehesh mirvam parach le'alam. Amen. 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 Amen.
So the kapara was really done before Ne'ilah. In Ne'ilah,
sure.
it wasn't a big deal as we make it into today.
Correct. Doesn't seem like that. Yeah. Let's see. We'll see when Ne'ilah comes from later.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.